Eleusinian mysteries, the mysteries of silence. If someone traversed to the regions of Hades or Tartarus, very likely he has activated not only second sight, seeing the world of gods, or the veil of Isis being shed just a little bit to see those chthonic darlings, demonic, dead, agathos daimones, symbols of the divine amongst the skies in day and night. So, I would like to explain what happens if such an individual is abused for political religious purposes, given a magus. If you parasite the throat or disseminate and thieve the voice that was supposed to be unobstructed, the command as such, what happens? Total chaos. So let us analyze the post-Hadesian voice. That is, if your soul, your mind, your consciousness is submerged into the deep voids of chaos, the ambrosia of God, and re-emerges, well, given the current parasitic society we live in, there will be always individuals that will try to capitalize on that for political and religious purposes. Let's analyze it from the framework of our good old Hindi metaphysics combined with Western occult and the Eleusinian esoterica. So, the architecture of the voice. In the Hindi metaphysical framework, the distinction between mortal chatter, we talk every day. Everyone is talking. The chatter of the human beings amongst earth is immense. Let me remind you of this old myth in which the god Enlil wanted to exterminate humanity because it chattered too much for his gusto. Of course, we were saved by Atrahasis, according to the myth. So, the mortal chatter of humans, everyday speech, blah, 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 and chatter through the address, blah, blah, blah. Now, what happens with an individual who crossed the abyss? He acquires the logos or the vague city. It is defined by the depth of the source. Our mortal chatter usually ends at the point where we speak, or when we broadcast something and record, it may reach diverse sectors of this particular world. But when you acquire the logos, both the abysses and heavens listen to the command uttering the logos. So, the fragmented noise vaikari of the mortal speech and the post-Hadesian voice originate from a unified vision, Madhyama Pashyanti. This is the Advaita idea of the Abheda non-dual school. So, the mortal chatter, the source, the ego sense, we talk from our ego. The mechanism, the friction of tongue and teeth, da-da-da-da-da-da. All the persons studying the voice, uttering a language know this. So the intent, Maya, to divide, to categorize, to bicker and quarrel and persuade. Nature, kolahala, chaos, noise. These mortals are just making noises upon earth, plenty of noises. And the consequence is evanescent, impermanent, dissipates upon a hearing, unless somebody impresses upon someone persuasion, rhetoric. Now, situation changes in which the Magoi acquires the logos of the abyss after being submerged. Then his word is as if commands, his words become law. So the Shunya Atman, the dancing self, the abyss speaks, the gods speak, the vibration of prana from Muladhara to the throat. The Dharma is the declared law, Dharma as in the deepest atoms of justice, to align with the, let's call it absolute, although it is much more complex phenomena. And nada, the celestial resonance with the voice, the truel, and the gods and the abysses. The karmic decree seats the akasha or ether. It is dispersed upon the cosmic ethers. Now, mortal chatter and the thieves' noise. What happens when this voice is thieved and dissipates as political religious mumbo-jumbo? Chatter is a leakage of prana because the mortal has not crossed Hades, the one who thieved, or integrated the shadow. Their speech is horizontal, limited to mortal human beings, restricted to social friction. Those thieves utilize high philosophy without the gravity, guratva of the abyss. Their words are wightless, failing to penetrate the silence of the initiated. However, they may cause plenty of chaos and trouble across the earthly realm of human beings, as we may see since 2007. Now, the Bijantaka, the seed ender, the logos, the voice is vertical. It reaches high heavens, the abysses, and the world of mortals and animals, as long as it is not thieved. Because if it is thieved amongst mortals, it doesn't reach mortal human beings for most of the time. You have plenty of clones that are talking on behalf of it, which are lies, political religious delusions, and ignorance. Now, this is the Nirguna beyond attributes and function as Sankalpa, the divine intention, divine intervention. Now, why is the command uttered by the logos of a mortal magician not immediate? Because the delayed command is because reality is complex in the Indra's net, so the voice must navigate the fates and the interference of other universal forces. Now, it is not some kind of a magic trick. It's occult business and occult mechanics and laws, a tectonic shift in the code of reality. Now, there is something called the, let's say, universal friction, that even if a magician has a voice, he's not an absolute commander because there are other gods, other deities, other magicians, and so on and so on. The voice passes through many layers of existence until it is effectuating, but sometimes it may cause plenty of troubles. So, if such a voice is thieved in the mortal realm, what happens? Everyone pays. Why? Because it is collectively dissipated. So when such a person is provoked, made wretched, hateful, and so on, well, the culprits think that he was pacified and neutralized. He isn't. The logos is continuous. Once the individual is initiated in the Magoi business, in the Hadesian business, in the business of gods. So because there is node of the totality a strike against such individuals, or as they once called such individuals Shravaka, or for example Sensei, or so on. So let me think, what was the word? Bhagavan and Sensei. Because they're a node of totality, a strike against them is a strike against the foundation of mortal existence on earth. The resulting commanding voice is a recalibration of the entire system, whether it is of benevolence or malevolence does not matter, because it is not held accountable for the actions of idiots. The voice is beyond punishment, as if sovereign. Its commands are not immediate because reality is complex and other deities come into play. But once the vibration is set, the update is mandatory. So, next time, if an individual on Earth arises, perchance crossing the abyss in some 2,500 years, be prepared not to abuse that individual because it will end up in terrible chaos and turmoil across the world. That's my advice. Thank you.